Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another day in my life, and welcome back to a What I Eat in a Day. The title's pretty self-explanatory, but today I'm going to be sharing with you food that I ate on this day, why I ate it, how I grew some of it, which by the way, today's video is sponsored by Skillshare because Skillshare helped to refine my sprout growing skills. If you watch my video and you like what you see, subscribe to my channel and turn on bell notifications to be alerted every time that I upload. So guys, with all that being said, let's jump right in. All right, so we are starting off with this sprout salad that I wanted to top with an egg salad. So I squashed some hard-boiled eggs with some homemade garlic aioli, a little bit of the brine or pickle juice from our Grillo's pickles, some honey Dijon mustard. Logan was playing on the couch at this point, so, I had to take a Logie break. I think this might have been the last jalapeno from our garden, and so I decided to chop it up to add into the egg salad as well. All right, now this salad was on top of sprouts. Now, today's video, like I mentioned, is sponsored by Skillshare. I was literally just telling my parents the other day how much I love Skillshare because you can basically learn anything you want to learn. So to those of you who don't know what Skillshare is, I will give you the pitch that I gave to my parents who totally ended up signing up, by the way. Skillshare is an online learning community with literally thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people, which I think should be everyone. You can explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and just get lost in creativity. If you watch my day in my lives, you probably saw that I took this sprouting class by permacrafters. I got so much information on sprouts in such a short period of time. I love that the topics are divided into bite-sized chapters and have lesson plans. It makes learning a new skill feel attainable. If you want to check out Skillshare, which like I said, I highly recommend, and it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. You can click the link below, and the first 1,000 people that sign up using my link will get a free trial to their premium membership. So when I'm building my salads, they're kind of often like everything but the kitchen sink salads, meaning I go through my fridge and I just kind of see anything and everything that I think I could put in my salad. So some of my clips are a little bit out of order. This carrot soup, I'm going to show you how I made it later in the video, but I had that soup with my salad and blueberries, and I also made some fresh rosemary bread. All right, so I'm calling this a carrot soup. It's really just a veggie soup, but it's so heavy in carrots that I think of it as a carrot soup. So I had made this veggie broth a few months ago in another day in my life, if you saw that video. So I thought that, and then I took all of my carrots. I had a bunch of carrots in the fridge and the freezer. I also took some garlic, onions, and celery, and I chopped everything up. Oh, by the way, I'm putting all of these ingredients in containers because I was filming this much earlier in the day. I didn't want to start the soup until later, so I kind of prepared all of the ingredients ahead of time by chopping them up. So when I was making this soup, by the way, this is so confusing. You're kind of just getting insight into like all of the foods that I've been eating lately. Anyways, I made some avocado toast with some manchego cheese, lemon juice, everything with the bagel seasoning, chili pepper flakes, salt and olive oil on the top, as well as some hard-boiled eggs and pickles. And then later in the day, when I was ready to make my soup, my dough that I had made for bread had risen because I have been practicing lots of different types of breads lately, including tons of sourdough, which we, because Dan's been doing it a lot too, will be sharing in the future. Anyways, on this day, we just had like a basic bread recipe, the one that I think I shared in another day in my life recently. So we had that, and then I pulled out all of the pre-chopped ingredients from the fridge to throw into our soup. By the way, I don't know if I got this on camera, but I put a lot of butter in this soup as well. I don't know, man, maybe a stick? And then we chopped up some Brussels sprouts and covered them in olive oil and salt, maybe some garlic powder, and then baked that up. So this is that bread recipe I was talking about. This is kind of the first recipe I've ever really made bread from, like from scratch. And I've really been following it to a T when I wanted to make regular bread, which honestly, I'm probably not going to be making this much anymore because Dan and I have become so obsessed with sourdough. But on this day, I made this bread. It's linked on my Pinterest, and it really is so good. So if you've been wanting to dip your toes into bread making, I think that this is a super easy, great first recipe to start with. So once my veggies had been simmering in the stove for, I don't know, maybe an hour, maybe hour and a half, I took my immersion blender, which these things are amazing because you don't have to like pour soups out into a blender or anything into a blender to get it creamy, nice and blended. This soup turned out so creamy and delicious. It was basic, but like in a good way. And then when I scooped the soup, that rhymed, I shredded some manchego cheese on top. So fast forward to the next day, I had been craving really crunchy baked potatoes, the kind where like the outside skin, like I said, is super crunchy. The inside is like moist and all the way cooked through and low-key drenched in butter and garlic and salt. So good. So that is what I decided to make on this day. I've actually been trying to find more reasons and ways, I guess, to eat potatoes in general. I want to grow them more in the future, and I don't know, I'm just feeling a draw towards potatoes. So I was actually experimenting the other day with fries as well. So on this day, while the potatoes were baking, we pulled out some of our brisket to heat up on the pan to go with the potato. Dan makes the best brisket. He will have to share how he does that at some point in the future. Just saying. Oh, and I think I made another loaf of bread on this day. I told you, this video is all over the map. Just lots of food that we like to eat. Dude, brisket sandwiches on homemade bread with manchego cheese and homemade avocado garlic aioli. Very good. Kind of random, but this was our Green Chef meal that we cooked up on this day. It was grilled chicken with a pesto sauce, more Brussels sprouts, which is great because we love Brussels sprouts, an artichoke pepper kind of spread. It was so good. So even though we were just eating that brisket, that was actually frozen brisket, and we were starting to run low. So Dan on this day made a new fresh brisket in the smoker. I came out to check up on him and also got another egg from our chickens. As you can see, it's getting colder here in Nashville, but because our chickens just started laying, they're laying eggs very regularly, so that's been really fun, and we're obsessed with eggs. So on this morning, I went out, like I said, got the eggs. I decided to saute some asparagus in avocado oil and then add some garlic powder and onion powder to the pan, as well as some chunky salt. Then I scrambled up some eggs with, you guessed it, some manchego. And at this point, Dan pulled the brisket off of the smoker, let it cool. It was a whole process. I'm cutting out a lot. It takes him like 12 to 24 hours or something like that to smoke the brisket. And then we got it all bagged up and stocked back in our freezer again, which felt amazing. Remember how I mentioned Dan is getting in on the sourdough game too? So on this day, this was one of many times that Dan decided to experiment with the sourdough recipe. Our house has just been like all things sourdough lately, so I feel like we're gonna have a lot of sourdough specialty information to give you guys in the future, because I've been loving making it. This is Logan trying to decide what he thinks about this like baguette of sourdough. I've been into making it, but Dan has been, as I lovingly say, nerding out in the way that he has been making his sourdough. So I'm very excited to share that with you at some point. I love my little sleepy son. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like I said, please subscribe to my channel, turn on bell notifications, and if you're still hearing my voice, check the info box for today's semi-secret, but never actually a secret anymore ever. And don't forget, the first 1,000 people to sign up using my Skillshare link will receive a free trial of Skillshare Premium. I will hopefully see you back here soon with another new video. Bye.